So before I start anything about prints or talking about anything, my last video was super whiny in my opinion, and I kind of annoyed myself actually. So I'm gonna try to not do that again. Anyways, if you came to this video hoping to get some insider knowledge on how to sell great prints, then I apologize. This is actually about me trying to literally figure out what makes a good print. This is not an advice video. I'm trying to figure this out, like literally for myself. So before I start, I would just like to list all of my art supplies. I am once again using Rowney inks, Sharpie markers, and this is all on Georgia Pacific cardstock in size 8.5 by 11. Now, about these prints. So, I only recently decided to start selling prints because before this, I was selling my original art, like literally the originals. I was just selling them off. I went to a couple of craft fairs. I didn't sell any of my art at the craft fairs. I had a lot of interest in them, but I think people were a little like, I guess they thought they were priced too high. They were like in the hundreds, and that's only because they were originals and because they were very large. These were 18 by 24 original paintings that I was trying to sell at these craft fairs, and yeah, those did not sell. But my smaller original paintings, I did sell some of those. And I only recently decided that I would like to start getting into selling prints. And I think last summer, yeah, summer of 2016 is when I was like, okay, I'm going to try and do this. So I did some, I mean, I like what I did. It wasn't horrible, the ones that I did. But in my mind, I thought what made a good print was like a centered image, something that was in the center of the page and it was the only thing on there, and then everything else was just kind of like white or like very simple background. Because before this, I had like elaborate things and like backgrounds and all this other jazz, and I was like, if I'm gonna make a print, I thought, I did some research. I looked around at prints that sold. I was looking on Etsy, I was looking at people's Instagrams, and what I noticed was that prints that sold a lot were prints that had like centralized images, whether they were complicated or simple. It was usually like an image in the center of a page or something that didn't like take up the entire page. And the people that were selling prints that took up the entire page or stuff like that, these are people that had like large followings and had fans that were gonna buy their works regardless of how they centered or didn't center their images. So my thought was, I'm going to create these images, that are cute or fun, something that someone would like. I'm just going to center it, and then I'm going to sell the prints of these. So what I first did, I did these like, okay, so I'm using Windows Movie Maker, so I can't overlay images. So I'm just going to like block out the video for like a second. I'll show you these pictures. So I first decided to do like these lip drawings. And I thought they were cool. I still have them. I still think they're a cool image. And I love anything Galaxy. So I thought that was a cool one to do. So I started with these lip images. And then I moved into doing, well, I was supposed to do more of these cats, but I ended up only doing one. And then I ended up putting it on my altar and keeping it for myself. But yeah, so I thought images like that were things that sold well. And after that, after I ended up not selling any of those, I kind of stopped doing things for a while. I got into crafting more than doing art. I was making bracelets, I was binding books, I was making jewelry and stuff like that. And I only recently started drawing again. So, I'm still like having fun and, figuring out. I know what my style is, but I'm still like, having fun doing different series because I love doing different series. So I decided that I want to start to do like more of these centralized images. And not only do I think that they make good prints, I think that these are the type of images that not that I think that other images don't make good prints, things that aren't centralized, but I feel like these type of images are things that are more likely to sell because they're more likely to go with someone's already existing decor. in their house. Like I feel like prints like this are easier to sell because they're easier to hang up in someone's house, something where it's like a centralized image and not a whole lot of background going on, not a whole lot of environment. I feel like these are easier to sell because they're simpler and they would blend in with the decor someone already has going on in their house. So that's why so if it looks like I like changed styles, because my cousin asked me that. He's like, have you changed styles recently? And I'm like, no, this is just a different series and I'm working in a different medium than I usually do. Because while I do like my Sharpie drawings, some of them, lately they haven't been the greatest, but while I do like that, I don't think they make the greatest prints. So I feel like these newer images that I'm doing, I feel like they would make better prints. I think images that can easily blend into someone else's decor make better prints. So that's why these newer ones I'm doing, might look a little different than some of the other ones that I've been doing on this channel. But if looking back, they're not that different from the ones I was doing last year, where it was just watercolor instead of inks. Because I remember I loved doing inks in high school, so I decided to start to try doing them again, and I absolutely love inks. I forgot how much I love them. I was walking in Walmart one day and I saw the bottle and I was like, man, I haven't done an ink painting in so long. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. So I just feel like a good print that's easy to sell is a centralized image. So that's what I am trying to do with these. I am attempting to build my Etsy shop up again. And my last one and this newer one, my little Faun girl, I feel like they're going to make good prints. So that's all I have to say about printmaking. Not that I'm like a print wizard, obviously, because I don't even know what the heck I'm talking about half the time. But that's my opinion on making prints. So, is all.